My brother-in-law is the reason my husband left me. I don't know what to do now. I, 38F, met my brother-in-law, 38M, at university. He asked me out during our first year, and I refused. He called me the C word and said I was shallow. My best friend told me it was just harmless comments from a drunk guy who got rejected. I never thought of myself as shallow, it was his demeanor and awkwardness that were off-putting to me. Anyway, my friend turned out to be right that he'd move on. Other than those comments, I never felt uncomfortable during my university years because he never bothered me again, not even a glance in my direction. The next time I met him was when my younger sister, 28F, introduced him as her boyfriend. I didn't even recognize him at first because it had been almost 10 years since that day. He seemed visibly annoyed that I didn't remember him and called me a liar. My family was skeptical at first, but he appeared to treat my sister well. She seemed happy, he's very rich, took her all over the world, and was kind to her. They got married after a year of dating and now have 3 children. I met my now ex-husband, 40M, 5 years ago. The only odd comment my brother-in-law made was that I was still as shallow and superficial as I was in uni. At the time, I laughed it off as a joke. In hindsight, when I found out the truth and started thinking back, that was probably a red flag. He never showed any signs that he disliked my husband. He was always decent enough, though distant, but since he was always a bit of a recluse, it didn't seem strange. About a year ago, my husband came home and accused me of cheating. He said he had evidence. Apparently, a man had contacted him with nudes of me on his phone. The man told my husband that he didn't know I was married at first, but once he found out, he contacted my husband to come clean. He even apologized to him. I had never met this man in my life. Nothing I said or did could convince my husband otherwise. He left me, and our divorce is still pending. Then, yesterday, that same man contacted me. He apologized and said he was friends with my brother-in-law. He sent me endless screenshots of their conversations over the years, messages where my brother-in-law talked about me constantly. He had never gotten over the fact that I didn't even give him a chance and only judged him by his looks. He called me the C word repeatedly in those chats, both in group messages with his friends and in private with this guy. They planned everything together. Somehow, my brother-in-law had gotten access to my private photos. The man said he came forward because he felt guilty, especially after hearing that I went on a date last weekend. Even after my marriage ended, my brother-in-law was still angry and hateful. That's when his friend realized he'd helped ruin innocent people's lives. I don't know what to do. My brother-in-law has actually seemed happier and more sociable since my divorce, and now I know why. I used to think he was just being kind and supportive. His jokes about me ending up an old maid with cats don't sound like jokes anymore, he meant them. I don't want to ruin my sister's life. She's very happy with her husband. I don't know if I should tell her or my ex. I'm heartbroken that my ex didn't believe me. I love him very much. He's the love of my life, but I don't know if I can forgive him for not trusting me. Still, he's a victim in this too, so maybe he deserves to know for closure. I'm so sad and hurt. I'm sorry this post got so long. Update 1. I'm sorry I've been gone so long, and I'm overwhelmed by all the support you've given me. Some of you have been asking for an update. I don't even know where to start. I've been in constant pain and stress, but my brother-in-law is now exposed for what he did to me. For those suggesting he's in love with me, he's not. He hates me and has ever since I rejected him. Hate can be just as powerful a motivator as love. For anyone mocking me, saying I'm bragging about a man not getting over me in 20 years, you're sick in the head. This isn't bragging. This is trauma. I've been terrified that my brother-in-law might hurt my sister because of me. That fear is why I've been cautious, not apathetic. He hid his hatred so well for so long, who knows what he's capable of. I didn't want my sister and her kids to be collateral damage. I'm sorry if I disappointed anyone expecting me to be a strong, bad girl. I have other priorities. My sister and I finally talked. I love her and her children deeply. She was hurt and confused, questioning her entire marriage, and who can blame her? I tried taking baby steps, letting her know I was there for her and being honest about my fears. It seemed to work at first. But then things changed. Her husband gave her an ultimatum: divorce him or cut off her family. She chose her marriage. It broke my parents' hearts and mine, but we can't do anything about it. It's her choice, even if it's coerced. Maybe she knows him better than we do. Maybe he's a better husband than he was a person to me. I cling to that little hope. She sent us a message telling us to forget she and her children ever existed and threatened legal action if we contacted them again. My brother-in-law deleted all his social media. His friends have cut him off, and he's planning to leave the city because everyone knows what he did. He's barely leaving the house now and has been shamed even at work. My ex-husband and I are moving forward with the divorce. I don't blame him for believing the lies, but I wish he knew me better, that he knew I'd never cheat. I'm sorry he moved back hoping we'd reconcile, but I can't. He's apologized many times and says he never truly believed it, but if our marriage couldn't survive a rumor, maybe it wasn't as strong as I thought. I started dating someone new a few weeks before all this came out, after more than a year of barely being able to get out of bed. He's seen everything unfold, and he's been patient and supportive. I think I have a real shot at happiness now. At least he knows the full story and is prepared if my brother-in-law ever tries anything again. Thank you for reading all this, and for being there for me. Final update. Hi everyone. I can't believe some of you are still messaging me almost weekly, asking about my situation with my sister and ex-husband. I'm sorry I haven't replied, I haven't been here in almost 2 years. Here's my final update. I've moved away, and it was the best thing I could have done for my sanity. This was after my brother-in-law cornered me outside work one day, demanding to talk. He grabbed my arm so hard it left a bruise on my wrist. I was terrified and started crying. He begged me to take everything back, saying people were calling him a creep and an incel, and that I had never given him a chance because I'm a jerk. A colleague called the police, but nothing came of it. I reported it as harassment, but it was dismissed, and there wasn't enough for a protective order. My sister wants nothing to do with me. She's even said publicly that I did cheat, probably to save face with her husband. My parents weren't allowed to talk to her at first, but now they have a relationship again, on the condition that they cut me off, which they did. I don't blame them. She and her children need protection more than I do. I haven't seen my mom in a year. I miss my sister, her kids, and my parents, but it is what it is. My ex-husband and I finalized our divorce. It was the right decision, even though it feels like my brother-in-law won. But really, he didn't. He's still hateful and bitter. I told him, and my sister, that nothing that happens to me will ever be enough for him, because he'll always be angry that he never had me. That was the final straw. My sister blocked me for good, and my parents took her side. I can't blame them. Now, I'm living in a new city with my boyfriend. I have no contact with my family. My ex said I ruined his life. I hope he forgives me one day, though I never meant to ruin anything. I'm finally finding happiness again. My new job is amazing, and I have friends both back home and here. My boyfriend has been incredible and so supportive. His family has taken me in as one of their own, and we live closer to them now. My brother-in-law has never tried to contact me again. I guess all is finally well now.